Hey guys, it's me, Nick, the Fruit Monster, and I'm just going to talk to you real quick about a cool idea that I have that I'm really striving to perfect in my little garden that I'm having. And that's the idea of compassionate gardening. And I know a lot of people just have the tendency to see bugs in their garden, get really angry and want to kill them. And as I've gardened, I've had the same tendency. I see moths landing on my plants. I know they're going to have caterpillars come out and land all over my kale and eat it up and things like that. And there's slugs and all these different bugs. But one thing I've found out is that it's a lot more satisfying to just take a bug off your plant and relocate it somewhere else than it really is to kill it. And it kind of gives you a practice in understanding that all life is important and that we're all interconnected and some bigger things that you can work on in your own mind. And so one of the things I wanted to share was I found that slugs like to get in my garden. And a lot of people put things out to kill the slugs, but really it's not that hard to figure out where slugs are hiding. So here, let me give you a few examples. Right along this fence here, underneath the fence, here's a good spot. Slugs like to be out of the sun and the shade, like to be in cool places. Another thing that I'm doing right now is right by my pumpkin plant here. I found that there was these big weeds growing up behind it. And guess what? There, found some slugs or snails, depending on where you are. It's called different things. So, you know, like here's another guy down here underneath the fence. So we can find places where there's cool shade, we can find slugs, and we can get them and put them in a bucket and take them somewhere else, take them to a park, take them somewhere where they can eat some grass and not, you know, ruin anybody's day. Another thing I found is that there's these one type of ladybug that likes to eat my pumpkin plants and my cucumber plants and everything in that family. So what do? I pick them off and put them in a jar. And today I took them in this jar and I took them away and I let them go somewhere else. So they're not in my garden anymore. Sure, more of them will show up, but it gets the population out of there, because one of the things that happens when you let a lot of them build up is they start breeding and planting eggs, and it's kind of an exponential process. So if you can remove a few, you can reduce the impact. Same thing goes with caterpillars and any other pests you may find. Sometimes it's easier to be compassionate and get rid of them, and then you don't have to use any harsh chemicals or do anything, you know, cruel like killing bugs. I know that might sound silly to a lot of you, but the more you start to understand how life works, the more you start to see value in all of life. And I think it's really important to try to do that. So something I'm striving for is to be compassionate on every little being, no matter how insignificant it may seem. Because, you know, in the grand scheme of things, we could be considered pretty insignificant too. Just look up at the stars at night and think about that one. Cheers, guys.